Hi, my name is Monica, and welcome to this class, which is yoga for sciatica. Sciatica is huge among yoga practitioners. So, if you are someone who experiences tingling, numbing sensation, or sharp shooting pain that radiates down the back of your leg, it's probably a little bit of sciatica. Now, it's always important to get a diagnosis, but we're going to do some things in this class to help relieve some of that sciatic pain. So we're going to start standing and then we'll come down onto your mat. We're going to start standing and we'll use 2 blocks. So come all the way to the back of your space and then fold forward. Once you fold forward and place your blocks on your mat, it's okay if you have a bend in your knees, that's fine, right? Bend your elbows and just slightly try to press your chest a little bit closer towards your thighs. Again, your legs do not need to be straight. Lift your chest, come back to like a half fold. And let's do that again. A little bend in your elbows. See how that feels on your low back? And lift your chest. I'm going to do it again. Bend your elbows. See how that feels? Right? And lift your chest. When you lift your chest, we're going to walk your blocks forward a little bit. Bend your knees and squat. And then lift your hips and lower your heels and try to fold. Let's do that again. These are super gentle movements. Bend your knees. Maybe you don't squat all the way. Maybe you do like a half squat. That's fine. Lift your hips and fold. Just trying to get some space in your lower back. One more time. Bend your knees. Squat. And then fold. So we're going to stay here in this fold. And we'll take your blocks and walk your blocks off the left side of your space. Right? When you walk your blocks to the left, pay attention to your right hip. Try to pull it back and see if you feel like a little bit of stretch sensation in your low back on the right side. And then walk your blocks back to center and walk your blocks over towards the right. And when you walk your blocks to the right, pay attention to your left hip, right? Try to pull it back so you feel a little space, stretch, sensation on the left side of your waist or your low back. Just trying to get some movement here in your lumbar spine, right? Walk your blocks back onto your mat. You're going to bend your knees, come back to a squat, take your blocks forward and come onto your hands and your knees. So we're going to turn your blocks down to the lowest height and place your hands on your blocks. Right, so you're on hands and knees, but your hands are a little elevated, and we'll just move your pelvis. Lift your tailbone, point it down, lift it, lower it, right? All kinds of movement. Now, pay attention to your tailbone and try to make circles on your back wall with your tailbone. Right? See how that feels. And then can you reverse the circle? So sometimes the circle feels easier in one direction than it does in the other. So you will be in good company if one side feels like you have to concentrate a lot. All right. We're going to come back to a neutral pelvis. Take your blocks, turn your blocks to the tallest height. So this movement right here is not half pigeon. That's not where we're going, but it's going to slightly look like it. So you're going to take your right knee towards your right block. Slide your block forward a little bit if you have more space to slide your knee forward. You're going to keep your heel underneath your bottom, as opposed to sweeping your foot towards the left side of your mat, right? You're going to keep your heel here and then fold forward over your blocks. Right, you can rest your forearm on your blocks. Left leg is just down the length of your mat. You can just stay right here. So you notice this is not about getting external rotation in your hips. So this is not really that kind of hip stretch. We are really trying to target here on the low back. So you can keep your forearms on your blocks and then think about a cat stretch. So tuck your chin towards your chest. Push your upper back towards the ceiling and then kind of come out of that. Just look forward. Let's do that 2 more times. So round, uncurl, 1 more time, and uncurl. All right, place your hands back on your blocks. We're going to bring your blocks closer to you and then slide your right knee back. When you slide your right knee, so we're still working on the right side here, right? You're going to straighten your right leg towards the back of your mat and lift your right leg up. And then try to stay here and just sway your right leg side to side. As you sway your right leg side to side, it's okay to let your pelvis move. Remember, we're trying to get some movement in the lumbar spine just to give you some space between your vertebra. Try to relieve any pinching on the sciatic nerve, but doing it very gently, right? And not trying to be aggressive at all. All right, we're going to cross your right leg over your left, put your foot down, and just look over your left shoulder. So again, another side stretch. You might feel it in your low back as well. And come back to center. Uncross your right leg from your left, lower your right knee to your mat. I'm going to switch to the left side. Slide your left knee towards your left block. You could walk your right knee back, right? And from here, remember to keep your heel underneath you as opposed to opening your foot and coming into hip external rotation. We're just in hip flexion here. Try to keep the knee in line with your hip and your ankle. All right. And as you fold forward over your blocks, over your left leg, think about a cat stretch. Tuck your chin, push your upper back towards the ceiling. Uncurl. Just do that 2 more times. Round. Uncurl. Last time. And uncurl. Nice. You can come onto your hands. Right, tuck your back toes. Walk your right knee forward. Slide your left knee back. All right, we'll straighten your left leg. Then keep your left leg straight. Just lift your foot. Wave your leg side to side. Try to see how much movement you could have right here. Right, really with the emphasis on crossing the left leg over your right. Now cross your left leg over your right. You can put your toes down, just tuck them, and look over your right shoulder. Come back to center, uncross your left leg. Tuck your tailbone down towards your mat. Keep your tailbone tucked. Start to push your hips back towards your heels, just not all the way, right? Because we want to keep a posterior tilt in your pelvis. So really we're trying to get more into a low back stretch. and then come forward. Once you come forward, just point your tailbone towards the back of your room. You might feel a slight dip in your lumbar spine. Let's do that one more time. Tuck your tailbone down. Start to push your hips back. And shift forward, untuck. Last time, tuck and push back. And shift forward, point your tailbone towards the back. All right, you can bring your legs around and in front of you. Just have a seat on your mat. However feels comfortable, either legs straight out in front of you or legs crossed in front of you. A gentle twist towards the right, nothing too aggressive. Right? And switch to the left. Turn forward, round your shoulders forward, chin towards your chest. And lift yourself back up to a seat. Place your palms together to touch in front of your heart. Sit here in stillness. Take your awareness to your low back. And if you could send loving words to this part of your body that sometimes it feels like it hacks up a little bit, gives you a little bit of feedback. You just treat this area with kindness and gentleness as you provide space in the low back, space, gentle stretches combined with loving thoughts. Take a deep breath in and breathe out. Namaste. Thank you for joining me for this short little snippet of class that targets sciatica. Sciatica is really painful, and I've experienced it in my body before. So I know, like, it hurts. But the way to go about relieving it, one of the ways to go about relieving it is to offer yourself some gentle movement, some space in the low back, trying to give some space to the sciatic nerve where it connects in the lumbar spine. So that was the point of our time today. So remember, gentle stretches throughout your day. See how that makes you feel. Thank you for being here. If you're not already subscribed, subscribe so that you know when another class is published. And thank you again for being here. If this helped you and your sciatica, let me know. I would love to know it. Okay, thank you. Bye.